the fighting nerds have been taking the UFC by storm. And if you have not noticed, I'm wearing my Brazil jersey, I'm wearing my nerds glasses, and we are breaking down the fighting nerds in this video. And it's gonna be broken up into the 4 fighters of Caio Borralho, Mauricio Ruffy, Silva, and Carlos Prates. I'll be taking 2, Santi will take the other 2. But let's start off with the fighting nerds, the team that has been absolutely lighting it up and has been undefeated in the UFC with their 4 fighters. We are talking about people that are so brash, so lively, that they are chatting shit, they are knocking people out, they are submitting people, they're doing whatever they want in the octagon, and it's so fun to see. It is so fun to see a different team come in and absolutely take this by storm. And the only logical thing to do is to start with Caio Borralho, the father of the fighting nerds. He is a 32-year-old middleweight that is so blended. And what I mean by that is his striking is so crispy. His jiu-jitsu and takedowns are just very, very high level. And we even saw him fight, or I guess you could say grapple, with Brendan Allen outside of the UFC, win that. I mean, this guy just loves the fight and he loves the competition. And when you're looking at the different fights that he had, the one against Paul Craig, where he's being calculated with every single shot, not going into Paul's game. He's not being taken down. He's not going to get tied up and then tripped. No, he's going to sit there, be calculated, 1-2, 1-2, sit behind the jab, and then work his magic. And that's what Caio is. He is a very smart, very, very strong middleweight. And when we look at that performance against Paul Craig, we are not looking at, oh, is his takedown defense going to be good? Because it's gonna be great. It's Caio. It is a fighting nerd. And we are talking about the most experienced fighting nerd in the UFC. He was on the Contender Series. He has fought very, very well-rounded guys, and he has come out on top every single time. That's who Caio is. And then when we look at the Abus fight, where Abus, he can take you down, he can smack you, he can do almost anything that he wants. And Caio had a very, very solid game plan going in. It's a karate stance that he likes. And he didn't even, it's so funny, he's southpaw, but he didn't even start as a natural southpaw. He switched after seeing Conor McGregor. And that is the most fighting nerd shit I have ever heard. Someone that literally just, I'm going to switch my style because I like McGregor and I like the way it looks, and then he fights. What? And when we look at this fight, Abus wanted to walk him down, and he was. But Caio is so good in just finding the angles and almost was on the back foot the whole fight. But what he was doing was, he's 1-2, 1-2, let me jump in, ba ba ba, and he's picking his shots very effectively. And I would like to say this fight is the most efficient that he has been so far. And what I mean by that is the first round, less than 30 strikes were attempted by each fighter. And we're not looking about how much you're throwing, it's what you're throwing. And again, it's that efficiency and the quality of your shots. And Caio picks him out better than almost anybody in that division. And he even stunned Abus in that 3rd round. But Caio just wears and tears it. And he'll take a first round off, or he'll download, kind of like Lomachenko does in boxing, that first round, and then he dissects you. He snipes you, and he can do whatever he wants. Then that brings me to my favorite of the bunch, Mauricio Ruffy, the lightweight Conor McGregor of the fighting nerds. He is 12-1, and he fights exactly like prime Conor McGregor. And if Conor McGregor grew up in Brazil and came into the UFC as a lightweight, it would be Mauricio Ruffy. I genuinely think Mauricio Ruffy has thrown more spinning tornado wheelhouse kicks than he has landed jabs. And while that is completely false, that does not take away the fact that Mauricio Ruffy is so fucking fun to watch. You may think, oh, you're just talking out of your ass. Well, I then show you King Green getting noticeably hurt by the first right hand landed by Mauricio Ruffy. I don't know what to call this right hand by Ruffy, but we need to name it. Conor McGregor has missed him back. What is Mauricio Ruffy's right hand? What is his spinning real kick? We have to call it something. But that just set the tone. King Green noticeably just keeps his hands down, and Mauricio Ruffy dissects him. He is a very karate-like fighter that goes in and out. He darts in and out. And like McGregor, he also gasses out. Because his shots are so explosive, that first and second round, you are fighting for your life. And against King Green, he had one of the flashiest spinning wheelhouse kicks I've ever seen. And it's so funny because King Green looked like he was trying to solve a Rubik's Cube while fighting Mauricio Ruffy the first minute before he gets noticeably dropped and then finished. But it's like Mauricio Ruffy is playing chess while breakdancing in the Octagon. That's how crazy good he is. And again, like I said, he is a karate guy. He's dashing in and out. He has the little pop in his step. He is just floating when it comes to the Octagon, and his style, his movement, it's so flashy, it's so fun. It is a breath of life in this lightweight division, and we have seen the lightweight division be so fun. Now we're having a younger guy come in, and I think he's going to wash the division. I think this guy has top 3, possibly championship talent, and it's shown here. It's even shown in his other fight against Londrop, where it is a catchweight fight, right? First of all, his opponent missed the first weight, so they had to get a catchweight, and then they missed the catchweight fight weight by a pound or so. Still, Mauricio Ruffy said, that's fine, throw him in, I'll take him. And he did. The first 2 rounds, he went absolutely nuts, dropping him, cutting him above the eye with a single right hand. That's what I'm saying, we gotta name the right hand. But we did see some weaknesses. Now, while Mauricio Ruffy, he snipes like a snake, and he'll snatch it. We also see him gas the fuck out, kind of like Conor McGregor. And we saw it noticeably with this fight. And I think it was the best thing that could have happened to him. And he even said it was as well. That he went through the adversity of going up 20 pounds, as well as going in with one of the, I want to say, dogs and just underrated guys in Londrop. And we've seen it with him getting cut, and he's still there. He's still walking him. He walked Mauricio Ruffy down round 3. And when you talk about these karate guys, what is the biggest problem that we see? We see them gas out. We see them get pressured against the cage and just landed body shots and leg kicks because they had that leg just sitting there waiting, asking to be kicked. And I relate this to the Wonder Boys, where they can get taken down. They can get pressured on the cage and get knocked out. Like Wonder Boy and Buckley. Okay, I brought it up. Whatever, it's done. But Mauricio Ruffy, I believe, can break that norm. He's a part of the Fighting Nerds, and again, a lot of the Fighting Nerds are built around submission, offense, and defense, and I think if you keep giving Mauricio Ruffy time to learn the ground game and takedowns, he will be like a Caio Borralho, where he is so blended that it is crazy to think that he's not going to be challenging a title soon. And when we talk about Mauricio Ruffy in general, he is an artist painting his canvas by knockouts and straights and spinning wheel kicks. He did it was like a drop down calf kick that Conor doesn't really do as much, but Tony Ferguson does a lot, and it's so fun to watch. You can see his takedown. Mauricio Ruffy, a crazy takedown he had. I believe it was against Malarkey in this first fight. Absolutely mental. Who's doing that? Name one fighter doing that. I don't know who. So when you think about it, why do you call them Fighting Nerds? Well, they are students of the game, and Caio Borralho and Mauricio Ruffy, sorry if I've been messing it up this whole video so far, have been excelling. And they have been doing what no other fighters can essentially do in such a tight schedule. They are learning exponentially. And mark it down right now, Mauricio Ruffy will be a champion by the end of his UFC run. If at least one time, the Fighting Nerds will have a champion, and it will be the best thing to see. But that is all for me. I'm switching it over to Santi, where he was talking about Carlos Prates and Silva.
Now I'll be going over personally my favorite 2 fighters out of this Fighting Nerds gym, and that is John Silva and Carlos Prates. Both are different in their own ways, but both are prolific strikers who have incredible knockout ability. I want to start with John Silva, who is, in my opinion, a featherweight dark horse, especially after that Bryce Mitchell win. He made Bryce Mitchell look like an average fighter compared to him, and at no point did he look like he was in danger at all. He has an incredible lean back, and that's his main style of defending, and it's kind of incredible his timing with that lean back. Look over the tape and look every single time he is getting thrown a body kick or a high kick. That lean back is thrown, and it's such a prolific thing that he uses to then spring into his counter. His check hook from that lean is remarkable. It's so powerful. And his favorite combo is that check hook or that lead hook into that powerful 2 that he steps into. Him and Carlos Prates do something that is very interesting from that southpaw position, where they will lean and be in this laid back stance, but their feet will slowly move and creep up on these guys. It'll end up being on that outside foot, on that stronger side from the southpaw position, where they will end up just landing and blasting through people in these, spectacular knockouts that we've seen. One thing John Silva does have issues with is his willingness to brawl. I feel like he will go for the finish a lot, which is not bad in terms of us watching that. But against guys in that featherweight division, maybe like Aljamain Sterling, who has the ability to move levels so frequently, can really disrupt that and cause a chaotic fight to maybe an Aljamain decision. Those heavy wrestlers in a brawling sort of style would just maybe trick John Silva a tiny bit. But I can't say that when he has looked absolutely flawless in his UFC tenure. Him and the Fighting Nerds are just in a level of its own, and Carlos Prates ends it here where it's just a man of swagger and a man of cool when he's fighting in there. He has two specific stances. He has this sort of lurker stance that I would like to call, where he does do what I was saying earlier with John Silva, where he will creep those feet slowly towards that strong side of his opponent to then land that two. Against the Leech, we saw it a lot where that two was landing like a piston, but it was helping that he was closing the distance while also looking very far away to the Leech. And then he has this Muay Thai style where he will actively have that lead leg for teeps or the ability to throw roundhouse kicks from it. He has an incredible ability of being so long range and then going into the clinch and landing his beautiful knees and elbows. His ability to move from that long kickboxing range to then that short clinch range is kind of why Carlos Prates is so good. It's because of his upbringing of being a kickboxer. He was a kickboxer Muay Thai, practitioner. He was such a good fighter. If you have the time, go to YouTube, look up his Muay Thai fights. It is a thing of beauty to watch him work. In the clinch, he has a prolific way of throwing the knees to just straight into the sternum, or he is a liver shutdown genius. His knees are absolutely wonderful to look at, and his ability to really close the distance with them is amazing. He knows when the guy is going to move to that power side of the knee, and so he will time into that. And we saw that against Charles Radke, where he was able to just get right under the elbow from that sort of reaction he gave. Overall, Carlos Prates, in terms of flaws, might be his lifestyle because of how he's smoking cigarettes and drinking. Of the making of this recording, we haven't seen him fight Ian Gary, and I would love to see that fight, and I would love to have more insight after the fight to see what Carlos Prates really is, because in my opinion, I think he is a very underrated person in this division where he can defend these takedowns. Defend single leg takedowns, especially because of the amount of times in Muay Thai where your leg gets caught or your leg gets catched in Muay Thai terms. He has an ability to balance off of that. And so I do think a blast double or anything double leg related might be the flaw or the Achilles heel to Carlos Prates. If I was a wrestler, I wouldn't be shooting single legs on this guy. I think he has prolific balance, and a double leg is a lot more suited for a game that he's not used to, which is a wrestling-based format. I think overall, these Fighting Nerds are just so talented, and all of them can be future champs one day. Or can they? Let me know in the comments how you feel. It's been Santi and Andy. It's been Stud.